All right, welcome everyone. Today, we're going to dive into what might just be the most unique and, let's be honest, the most confusing park for using Disney's ride reservation system. We're going to break down how to absolutely master Epcot's Lightning Lanes, especially for those of you traveling as a couple. Yeah, I had to start with this quote because it just perfectly nails the feeling, right? If you've ever felt totally confused trying to map out your Epcot day, trust me, you are not alone. This park just plays by a completely different set of rules. So what is it? Why is Epcot so different? Why does a strategy that works like a charm at Magic Kingdom just completely fall apart here? Well, it all comes down to how the rides themselves are spread out. Okay, the best way to think about this is like a puzzle. See, other parks have tons of popular rides, but Epcot has what one of our sources calls a few bangers, a couple of massive, super popular rides. And then there's this huge gap to, well, everything else. So here's the deal. You've got three main headliners all competing for your attention: Frozen Ever After, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and Test Track. Then you've got the park's absolute superstar, Guardians of the Galaxy, which is in its own little world with a separate system. And after that, most other rides often have pretty short waits. So what does that mean? It means almost every single person in the park is fighting for the exact same 3 or 4 reservations. So how do you even start to solve this puzzle? Well, you've got two main tools in your toolkit. Getting the difference between these two is without a doubt the most important first step to having a great day. Let's get into it. So first up, you've got your main booking tool, what we'll call the multi-pass. Think of this as your key to a whole bunch of rides for one set price for the day. But, and this is so important for Epcot, it uses a tier system. And then, totally separate, you have the single pass. This is a simple paper ride deal for the single most popular attraction. You buy it on its own, no tiers, no fuss. So let's dig into that multi-pass a little more. Basically, you buy this for the day, and the price changes depending on how busy things are, usually somewhere between $17 and $37 a person at Epcot. And this is what lets you book return times for most of the attractions in the park. And this right here, this is the real heart of the Epcot puzzle, the tier system. With the multi-pass, you can only book one of the big 3 from Tier 1 at a time. That's it, just one. All of your other reservations have to come from that much less popular Tier 2 list. So right away, you're forced to make a really tough choice. Okay, now let's talk about that single pass. A lot of people call it the fancy ride, and it really only exists for one attraction, Guardians of the Galaxy. This is super important. It is not included with the multi-pass. If you want to use the fast lane for Cosmic Rewind, you've got to buy this pass all by itself. Okay, so we know the tools. Now, how do we actually use them? Because just buying the passes isn't enough. Not at Epcot. You need a game plan. This is, hands down, my favorite way to think about this. And it comes from Ear Scouts. Stop thinking about it like you're just booking rides. Instead, imagine you're playing a card game. And your whole goal is to keep improving your hand until you're holding reservations for the 3 best rides in the park. So how do you play this card game and get the best hand? Well, there's this amazing technique that insiders call fiddle-faddling. Instead of just waiting for a perfect time for Remy's to show up, you book anything, even something easy from Tier 2 like the Seas with Nemo. That gets you a card in your hand. Then you just tap Modify and refresh, refresh, refresh. As other people change their plans, new times and even new rides will pop up, and you can grab them instantly. This works great when you're traveling as a pair. One of you can be the dedicated fiddle faddler while the other grabs the popcorn. But, and this is a huge but, when that perfect time for Test Track finally appears, you have got to be fast. I mean, lightning fast. Because there are thousands of other people doing the exact same thing, and if you hesitate for even a second, you're gonna get got. Someone else will snatch that reservation right out from under you. So, how do you get that speed? Here is the pro tip. The one thing that will save you from getting got. Before you even start your day, go into the app and set your preferences. But here's the key. Only pick your top 1 or 2 targets, like Remy's and Test Track. The app will then pin those rides to the very top of your screen when you go to Modify. No more frantic scrolling. This will save you precious seconds and give you the edge you need to win the game. Okay, so what if all of that, the fiddle-faddling, the refreshing, the card game, what if that just sounds awful? What if you're on vacation and you don't want to be glued to your phone? Well, there is another way, the ultimate line-skipping tool, but it's going to cost you. So what's the price for this convenience? At Epcot, we're talking about $179. per person for one day. Yeah, it's a lot, but what you're buying isn't just shorter lines. You're buying back your time, and you're buying peace of mind. Look, the trade-off here couldn't be clearer. With this Premier Pass, you just show up. You walk up to pretty much any Lightning Lane you want, whenever you want, and you get on. There are no time windows, no tiers, no refreshing. As one source perfectly put it, no more fussing around on your phone. It's purely a financial decision. You're paying top dollar to take all of the work out of your day. All right, so we've covered a ton. The puzzle, the tools, the secret techniques, the expensive way out. So how do you actually choose the right path for you? It all comes down to your budget, how you like to vacation, and what you really want out of your Epcot day. Let's boil it all down. The multi-pass is perfect if you're up for a little bit of phone work and you absolutely want to hit those big Tier 1 rides. The single pass is for you if, really, you just care about riding Guardians of the Galaxy and you're cool with waiting in standby for everything else. And the Premier Pass, that's for anyone who has the budget and just wants the most relaxed, stress-free, convenient day possible. And in the end, that's really the question you have to ask yourself. What's more valuable on your vacation? Is it saving some money by spending a little time on your phone? Or is it saving that time and mental energy by spending more money? There is no wrong answer, but now you have all the tools and all the strategies to make the perfect choice for your trip.